Today I'm going to share things that I've learned since starting my own beauty business by renting a room within a salon and providing beauty treatments. I've been making notes of everything that I've learned so far for quite some time now. I'm still no expert and I'm still learning, I'm still new. Not a new beauty therapist, just new. It's a new business for me. I've got so many things on this list. I'm going to have to make this part 1 and then in the future I'll make a part 2, otherwise we're going to be here for hours. Just to point out as well, this is very personal. It's what I personally learned, and you know, these are things that worked for my business or didn't work for my business. It doesn't mean it's going to be exactly the same thing for you, but I'm filming it in the hopes that it does help. Right, so going back to the very beginning, one thing that I realised is how long applications take. So if you need to apply for certain licensing with the council or just any sort of application, the insurance didn't take long at all, but any sort of paperwork, start early, it takes time. I didn't realise how long certain things would take. It was just going back and forth of emails, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was getting on my nerves. But yeah, if you start early, then you wouldn't be as frustrated as I was. The second thing that I learned was how charge what you're worth, that whole thing that people were going on and on about. I felt like it was just coming up on my Instagram all the time. It didn't work for me. Especially after the pandemic, people were putting their prices up. I was kind of like gassed up and I thought, yeah, I'm going to charge what I'm worth. And I kind of looked at all of the salons that I had worked at over the years and I thought, well, if people are willing to pay X amount to these salons when I'm doing the treatment for them, why should I charge less? I didn't want to be too low. I didn't want to be extremely high. In my eyes, it was still reasonable because every salon that I had been working at, they were charging this price anyway. And at this point, people were putting their prices up even higher than this, so I felt like I was still reasonable. I made a video about pricing and how to design a price list, and I'm not trying to sound big-headed or anything, but I should have listened to my own advice. I feel like that advice in that video there, that was for someone who was opening up a new business. The charge your worth thing, as someone who is brand new into an area and starting a brand new business, it didn't work for me because I was new into the area. No one knew who I was, so no one knows how much I'm worth. People are walking past and thinking, oh, she's new. They walk in, look at my price and they're like, oh, well, I don't know her. I'm not going to pay her this amount. I'm just going to go next door. That is exactly what was happening. In the end, I had to change my price list, and it was very, very, very painful for me because in any industry, everything was going up. Petrol was going up. You go to the supermarket, everything's gone up higher. Any sort of business, their prices were going up, and it was very painful for me to put my prices down. Now, I still didn't go too low because, again, I was kind of looking at people in the area, and some people were charging prices that used to be charged 10 years ago. If a beauty treatment back then was £20, now it's, you know, £30, £35, maybe even £40. It's not the same. So my prices were like right in the middle. It wasn't too low, it wasn't too high, it was smack bang in the middle. It was still affordable. I didn't want to make it too cheap because I didn't want to attract certain clients, if I'm perfectly honest with you. I also had to keep in mind that I'm possibly going to be doing special offers. And I was doing special offers a lot at the start. So if my prices are already low and I'm doing special offers on top of that, I'm not going to be earning anything. I'm not going to be able to afford my rent. So yeah, it was like a medium price list, and charge your worth didn't work for me. Hopefully it will work in the future once I've built a clientele and people know how much I'm worth to be able to charge for it. The next thing that I learned isn't something new, it's just something that I realised, it's just sort of added on to what I knew already. Customer service is everything. So we already know that customer service is important. Now that I had full control over my business, I have full control over everything, me going that extra mile for a customer and making sure that my customer service is 10 out of 10, I started to get a lot of feedback, and I saw that a lot of customers were returning and they were appreciating the customer service that I was offering them. They could see the difference. That was quite short and sweet. I feel like I was rambling a lot for the other things that I learned. The next thing I learned is not to be offended by people who give me advice or feedback about my business. They only care about me and want me to do well. So at the start, how should I put this? I'm not the type of person who could open up a business and you know where people have everything spot on. The furniture, the equipment, the booking system. They would plan an event, like a launch event with the balloon arches and the afternoon tea and vouchers, and they have it just all ready and they've maybe budgeted. I don't know how they do it. It's not the type of person I am, and I'm not good at doing stuff like that. I am very slow. One thing on my to-do list branches out into 5 tasks because I want that thing to be done perfectly. I take baby steps. So when people were coming in, people were giving me advice and feedback on how I can improve. Depending on who gave me this feedback, sometimes I was a little bit snappy and I was a little bit like, you know, they'll be like, oh, you should do this, this, this. And I'll be like, I know, it's on my to-do list. Yep, I'm going to be doing that in the future. Just hold your horses. Yep, I'm looking into that. It's on my, like, it was just, at some point I was just being silent. So people would be like, oh, you should do this, this and this. And I would just be like, and they'd be like, oh, I hope you don't get me the wrong way. I just thought it might look nice. Yeah. Well, inside I'm like, well, do you want to pay for it? It's not for free, you know. But I learned how these people are giving me advice, because, I mean, clearly there is room for improvement if people feel the need. Like, people that I don't know felt the need to give me advice. And I realised that, you know, they're doing it out of good intentions. But at the same time, if there is something that I felt very strongly about, I learnt to just stay true to it and strong. Because at the start I was a bit like, kind of strong, and then the more people who kind of tried to sway me in a different direction to what I was aiming for, I kind of swayed a little bit, but then I kind of sprung back and I thought, no. I've learnt that if I really feel strongly about something, I need to stick to it, because if I don't, my business is going to be messed up. My vision for my business and what I'm aiming for and my niche is going to be messed up and really blurry and muddled, and that's not what I want. I want it to be very clear with what I'm aiming for. Another thing that I realised is how much nail art stood out for me. Nail art is something that was self-taught. I didn't work in any salon that provided nail art, and whenever I post a picture with nail art, it gets the most likes. With reels it gets the most views. Even when I meet up with old friends or something, they'll be like, oh my god, the nail art that you've been posting is amazing. So it's something that has definitely stood out for me. I've also learned that I really need to be prepared with colours and nail art stuff. Even though I'm not a nail technician and I don't have a huge amount of space to store all of these colours and all of these nail art things, I still, like, there was this one time where someone wanted gold glitter, and I had a chunky gold glitter but not like a fine gold glitter where I could do a line, and I was so embarrassed, and I lost the client because of it, because she showed me this design. She was like, can you do this? And I didn't have the stuff for it. That was a lesson learned. Okay, the next one, I forgot about this. So I felt like I was posting a lot. I was posting every day. I wasn't posting a lot on my story, just here and there, but that felt like a lot for me. But there were so many people who didn't know that I was doing this business. So many people who didn't know that I rent a room and that I'm based in one place now. So many people didn't know that that was my beauty page, and it was just like no one was aware of anything. So when you feel like you're posting a lot, you're not. Do it more. Another thing that I learned, it's just crazy. People, right? People thought I was booked up. People didn't think I was accepting new clients, which is crazy, because when I first started, for a very long time, I had no clients. Okay, I would go days and days with no clients, and then one day I would have one client. but I was grateful for that one client because it was better than 0. And then I would go again, no clients, and then one day I would have like 3, and I'll think, oh my god, I had a busy day today, I had 3 clients, wow. Yeah, at the start, I mean, I was trying to post so that I get more followers, so that I stay active, so I look busy. I guess even though I thought I was posting a lot, people thought I was too busy and I didn't have availability. As soon as I started posting available times that I've got, that's when that's something that helped. And it's funny because when people were like, are you available this day? And I'd be like, yeah, what time do you prefer? They'd be like, what time do you have? Do you know how embarrassing it was for me to be like, any time between 10 and 6? So yeah, people just assumed that I was busy, but making it clear that I'm not fully booked, it was something that helped. This isn't on my list, but I just remembered something. Now that I've sort of built up clients, it's funny because now that I'm busy, people who were used to me always being available, they're like shocked and they don't believe it when I say I'm fully booked, or I don't have this time available but I've got this time, and it's very like far away from what they wanted, and they're like, so you don't have 10 o'clock on Saturday? No, I'm fully booked on Saturday, but can you not just like squeeze me in? I'll be like, nope, I'm fully booked, like fully booked on back-to-back, no gaps whatsoever. And because I'm on my own, it's not like I have staff to be like, oh yeah, come in, someone can squeeze you in. It's not like that. I'm all by myself, I'm back-to-back. At the beginning, where I made my customers so comfortable with just rocking up whenever they want, or me being available, so available at the start, it's kind of, you know, trying to teach them that they should book an appointment now, because I am getting a little bit booked up, which I can't believe I'm saying. It honestly took me so long, I could cry. Something else that I learn is keeping up. Again, it's not something new. When you keep up with trends, it's very, very helpful. So right now, the Hailey Bieber, the glazed donut nails is really in. So I made sure, even though it was really hard to get my hands on the type of chrome powder that it was, I got something similar and made it work and showed that I'm offering this trend. Because even though I keep up with trends a lot, I follow so many people in the industry, I'm like following trends, keeping up with the fashion, but customers who aren't in the industry still keep up with trends. If they're into nails, they are going to see this TikTok about the Hailey Bieber nails, or they are going to see this TikTok about nail stamping or foil, or like whatever it is. They could possibly be keeping up with trends, so it's good to keep up with trends yourself. Right, another thing that I learned, people like special offers, of course, who wouldn't? At the start, when I first started, obviously because I was very, very slow, like a very slow start, I was doing special offers all the time. New Year's offer, Valentine's Day offer, like they were all really, really close together. I had a big poster, a red poster on the window, special offer, and all of the discounts that I had. And yeah, this was bringing in customers. However, something else that I learned, when I stopped doing special offers for quite some time, just because of the way the world is right now, and you know, I still have rent to pay for, I can't do special offers all the time. I still need to charge what I normally charge. People were like, oh, like have your prices gone up? Like I thought it was this much. And I was like, no, that was a special offer. Like it was very clear and bold on the window, and every time someone would ask me, oh, they'll come in and be like, oh, how much is this? And I'd be like, well, right now it's on special offer for this much. But clearly I wasn't clear enough, because people thought that my prices went up when actually they were getting a discount. So something that was a hard lesson for me, making it clear when someone gets a discount. Right, the next thing I learned, don't overthink my to-do list. When I finally got up and I said, right, Mel, stop overthinking all of these things on your to-do list, just go through it, just do it. As soon as I started doing it, it felt so good to tick things off and move ahead with the business. Even though there were certain things on my to-do list that were sort of out of my comfort zone, there were things that I had never done before, so I wasn't confident in completing that task. That's why I would overthink it. So for example, on the window, I really wanted what treatments I offer on the window. It was very, very important for me, so that when people are walking past, they know I exist, that they know what treatments are offered in that salon. Now on the window on one side, the hair salon have what treatments they offer, and it's like this white vinyl lettering. So I wanted the same on the other side. I wanted the font to be the same, the colour to be the same, so that it looks symmetrical and it looks nice. But because this is something that I had never done before, because I was like, oh, I need the right size, am I measuring it right? Am I gonna know what font to use? Blah, 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 blah. It wasn't even that hard. When I finally said to myself, right, I'm gonna get this done and I have to get this done today. Emailed a company, they quoted me a price. I asked another company, quoted me a price, went for the other one that I felt like was more, like I just warmed up to them a little bit more. They understood exactly what I needed. They even sent me a picture and said, is this what you want? And it was exactly what I had in mind. They just, I guess the font was like the most basic font and it was very easy to do for them. It was nothing complicated. So yeah, they came, they installed it and they left, and I paid for it, and it's great, and I can't believe why I didn't get it done sooner, because that being on the window brought in clients. I missed out on a lot of clients that had walked past because they didn't know I was in there, and they didn't know that I was offering eyebrows and electrolysis and all of this stuff. Right, another thing that I have realised, at the start a lot of my customers were clients that were going to get their hair done. As soon as I went on Google, that is where I started to get more clients. It wasn't Instagram. Instagram is still there, like I still have got an Instagram clients from there, but Google was the big one. When people type in nails near me, eyebrows near me, lash lift near me, whatever it is, that's something that I do, and a lot of people do that. That's how I was found. And people were coming in and they were like, yeah, I found you on Google and you had the best reviews. And I was thinking, I've only got 5 people who have left reviews, and just because they're all really good, people were like, oh yeah, this place must be good. They don't care about how many, the number, they care about the actual reviews itself. I don't even have that many right now, I've got like 13 or something. But yeah, it makes such a huge difference. Another thing that I've learned and I'm still working on, my Instagram, right, it looks like I only do nails because it's just full of nail pictures. I'm trying to post more pictures of eyebrows and eyelashes that I'm doing. Trying to post it here and there because I don't want it to be too muddled. But the reality is, right, not everyone is comfortable with pictures being taken of them. My battery just died again, that's the 3rd time. I must be and this helicopter. I must have been talking for hours. I am still working on it. I'm trying to incorporate eyebrows and eyelashes in the mix, but I don't want it to look too complicated as well. I like the way all the nail pictures look together. So it's a tricky one for me. The last thing I learned was, if there is something about a particular brand or treatment that I'm doing that I'm not 100% happy with, I need to do something about it and change it. I kind of stuck to what I know. Now, I'm not completely like that, but there was one thing, one treatment that I wasn't 100% with, and it was, I'm going to tell you what it is, the lash lift. It wasn't consistent. Some people would get an amazing lift. The majority of my clients wouldn't get an amazing lift. And I was too afraid to expand and try something new, try a different brand. I felt like I had to stick to, I had already tried 3 and I feel like I couldn't get what I was looking for, and then I started to question myself. I was thinking, am I just shit at doing lash lifts? But then I did a bit of research. I was up till about 1 AM, 2 AM for a couple nights doing research, comparing brands, doing this thing where, again, I would overthink things, where I've spoken about in this video, where as if it's a bad thing. That's another thing about me. I feel like I'm stuttering a lot. I never used to be like that. Anyway, what was I saying? Overthinking is sometimes a good thing. I was making notes and everything, and I found a brand that stood out to me. And they had a trial little taster kit available. Ordered it and it was free. You just had to pay for postage. Ordered it, found myself a model. I tried it. As soon as I took that shield off, I knew it was the one. I knew that I got the lift that I had been waiting for. and I finally switched brands and didn't feel bad about charging a client for a lift that I wasn't 100% happy with. The clients were happy. They were like, oh my god, like they look in the mirror, and then I'm just like trying not to be like, really? Like, you like that lift, really? So that's why I kind of stuck. But if I had done that before and switched brands before, it would have been better. But yeah, that's something that I've learned. If you are not 100% happy with something, branch out a little bit, and hopefully you'll find what you're looking for, like I did. Whew. So that is part one of things that I've learned since starting my own business. I've still got a list of other things that I'm gonna take notes of and make a part two, because there are still loads of things that I would love to share with you. If you are a business owner in this industry and you have certain things that you want to add, comment down below. If you found the video helpful, give it a thumbs up if you want, no pressure, and I hope to see you again